Thank you very much. First of all, with the risk of repeating what everyone else said, I'm pleased to be on this panel, distinguished panel, and I have to say that the wonderful and exquisite hospitality of Nectaria and her team is really, setting very high standards. So we'll see what we can do maybe in Romania or some other place in the future supporting The Economist. Yes, actually, Alistair, my thought was that the title of this panel was linked to pioneering. I'll just set maybe a few words about who we are so that I'm trying to set up some credibility in what we are saying. We have a history of 25 years, and we are managing projects which exceed 25 billion in CapEx, working in 18 countries, focusing purely on critical infrastructures. Our value proposition is a one-stop shop kind of approach in which we gather under one umbrella all the competencies which are needed to assist large investments in the region, starting with regulatory, covering technology, process, automation, technology, everything under an ESG very strict umbrella. What is also important is that we are having this three-horizon approach in which we are looking constantly at disruptive technologies, and we have invested, like corporate venture capital, into AI-driven technologies for critical infrastructures. These are the pillars of our activity. We bring financing to our projects. We are consultant engineers. We have very deep knowledge of energy markets. We are balancing about 80% of the Romanian electricity market. Very active in digital and innovation management consulting with regular services. And by the way, we are also active in defense for more than 16 years, working with very large companies like Northrop Grumman, among others, for the region. What I want to talk to you about as a main topic is the pioneering technologies which are having their cradle in Eastern Europe, and in a partnership that we have with remarkable technology companies, we are focusing on what I believe to be the next generation of investments for the region. And I'm talking about data centers. I very carefully listened to the Deputy Minister of Energy of Bulgaria, and I sensed that in his list he didn't speak about data centers. We are coming with something which is, I believe, revolutionary, which is not only data centers as consumers, but data centers as flexibility services providers and aggregation members. You may see on this slide that about 20% of the overall consumption in the world in about 5 to 10 years is going to be represented by data centers. You know that there is this amazing statistics by IBM in which the pace of doubling of the data at international level is absolutely mind-boggling. If you see the map, which is quite small, I apologize for that, Central Eastern Europe, South Europe is really not covered by data centers. And this is something which lacks in order to support the investments that IT companies and many other companies need to have as a precondition to invest in our region. The benefits, I don't want to insist on them, they are quite well known. I just want to put a little bit of a magnifying glass on the technology part. We have now a solution which we developed integrating the data centers. By the way, it is more than a concept. It is already implemented for Alibaba 2 years ago in China, and it is currently working for Meta in Canada, actually, the data center. It is a revolutionary technology in which we are doing cooling of the servers, and with AI-driven technology, we can mix the forecasting of weather condition, consumptions, linking all the information from the grid, from the RES production, from the batteries in an aggregation unit, and then we can use the technology to do flexibility services plus aggregation services to the grid. This is something that we believe that will be very interesting for the region. We have a lot of dynamic developers in the region and the investors, and I think that we could be very reliable partners for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for that. I'm always slightly puzzled, just very, very briefly, by why it matters where a data center is.
It's a matter of, let's say, spreading your risk geographically on one hand. It's all about connection to the grid, and our region had, as you heard from Mr. Papastavro, had a lot of big capacities in lignite production and so on with connection to the grid facilities. So we are well positioned, let's say, to have these investments attractive in terms of capex, but also in terms of the big problems that the grid operators are facing for flexibility services and for congestion management. Because as you know, all this renewable bonanza, which is happening right now, and you know, we heard about, again, for me, mind-boggling capacities. If you look at Bulgaria, what they think to invest in terms of battery capacities, it's actually larger than the consumption of the country. And by the way, they have hydropower, they have nuclear, so all these investments, without the data centers following and increasing consumption, personally, I believe they don't have a lot of chances for the future. But I'm happy to take the Deputy Minister's...
Very briefly, because I've gone off track.
Just several words. As a government, we are working for building of conditions for deployment of such factories, and we are welcoming all the investors because, as I told, our network could carry more than 20 gigas of energy, and that kind of consumers, they have their advantages, and we as a government, as I told, we are welcoming you to directly connect to our well-developed nuclear, hydro, coal, and etc. energy sector, which is, just to say, for the last year, more than 70% built from low carbon sources. 40% nuclear, 30%, more than 30% renewables. But everything we could be possible with our partners from Greece, Romania, because we are from one union. Thank you for your remark.
Thanks.